Hello. Thank you for tuning back into Nuggets, Kibbles, and Bits Talk. Today, people, I have a nugget for you. There is the shift that's about to happen, where the leadership is about to shift, is in direct plane now. There is a feeling that I cannot describe that just won't seem to leave me. I know this feeling is from the astral plane. It's from the cosmic. It's from the universe. I had a vision, and the vision was concerning this awakening. So this video is for everybody, because everyone will be affected by the awakening one way or the other. But mainly, this video is for the masculine divine and the feminine divine. Because in the universe, there has already been a spiritual shift. Now, I know some of you guys are not going to like this right here, but the physical shift in the universe has already taken place. And this shift is going to, well, it has already begun a new dispensation or a new situation in the time that we live in right now, but only on a higher plane. And I know the universe is eternal, but I say time because we're still connected to time and it's affecting us now. So, brothers, masculine divine brothers, God is not satisfied with you. God has heard the cries of the sisters. God has watched her take on the job as the man and the woman in the household. God has saw how you have degraded her and put other women before her and declared that she's the scum of the earth. The masculine divine may not have a husband with you unless she agree to set up in a house with 5 or 6 other so-called wives. Now, a Cardi B and the other ones, you know, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, they can have a whole black man all by themselves and say that's their husband. They don't have to sit up in the house with 6 or 7 other women to say they one of the wives. So you all have made that something that the divine feminine have to do if she want a mate. Well, God has looked down on that. And listen carefully. This is for the feminine masculine, this is for the feminine divine feminine right now. God has put you over the man. I don't know when you're going to see it, but you will see it. And I have seen this in a vision, and I have gotten confirmation in the physical that this is happening. There's going to be a time where we're going to go into our promised state. We're going to go back to the promised land. And even probably while we're here, because I don't know exactly when it's going to actually manifest on earth. But the black man, because of his disobedience, because he had misled us, you're more likely to kill the black woman than anyone else. you are more likely to not marry her. You'll marry outside your race. You're more likely to degrade her, I would say, more than anyone else, and look down on her. And so God has put her above you now. And he's not out of order. The reason he was able to do that is because she herself is man as well. And you can find that in Genesis 5, chapter 5. She is man. And so God's plan is to use these two people as he chooses. Now, he wanted to have a hierarchy. He wanted to have it where he, himself and Yeshua HaMashiach, and then the man, and then the woman. But in looking down on the Daughters of Zion and seeing all the stuff that we have gone through, all the times we had to keep our mouth shut and be patient, even in our so-called awakening with the Hebrew Israelites, you're hushed. See, what the masculine divine don't understand is this right here. When the Most High God made this woman that came out of you, he made her for a particular function or for a particular purpose. That purpose was to help you. So if she was designed when it was time for her to be fashioned or designed to your likeness, when it was time for her to do that, God had already chosen to make her as your helpmate. So that right there tells me that you can't do certain things without her. He didn't say that he was going to make another man to be your helpmate. He said this woman was your helpmate. And I have learned that the most part of, the biggest part of the woman being the helpmate of the divine masculine is because she's there to, she's like a receptor, a spiritual receptor. She have more access spiritually than you do. So therefore she have more moves to make. This reminds me of a chessboard where the queen have more power over the king, even though she's not really over him, but she had more power because that was just her function. Well, it's pretty much the same thing. So God had made her as your helpmate. And as a result of that, she suffered. She suffered because she was like the one that was to come along and to help spiritually, to nurture, to help for your process of completion, for love, to have the children that the Most High God had chosen to be his people. She was there for that function. Other women was not there for that function. But somehow the brothers believe that if, wherever they put their penis, and then the results would be a black person or a person that God had chosen. Well, that tells me that they are not readers of the word, because that's not what the word says. Now, what I'm saying is not prejudice, is biblical. So I don't, don't cry babies, okay? The crybabies, go to another channel. Go to another channel, because I don't want to hear the crybabies, because everything I'm saying, you can go look it up yourself and find it. And I'm not going to sit here and do all looking up and research, so you don't have to do any, because you won't appreciate it unless you do it yourself. So this is my message that I have to tell you. divine feminine women of God, daughters of Zion, you are in a very special position right now. You are the top person upon the earth. You are the top person in the universe. The place where God had the divine masculine, you're now in that position. Now, as time go by, like I said, we may go into our promised land, or it might be right now. I don't know, when it's going to actually manifest upon the earth. But there's going to be a time where a black woman, or I'm going to say the daughters of Zion, is not going to need you all anymore. See, and the Bible says all things work together for good. And so, we wondered, and a lot of us prayed and cried, for our divine masculine to come along. And God already knew in advance that He was gonna make this decision to discontinue them at some point. At some point, they will be discontinued. But before that, they are still going to grow old at this point, and they're going to die. Now, I know this sound crazy, but this message is for spiritual people. This message is not for the knuckleheads. The knuckleheads that's going to say, well, what is she talking about? And all, this and that. The ones that don't do no research, they just sit up and listen to what people have to say. And then they call themselves judging, which they don't have the wherefore to judge anything. They're not equipped to judge. But those are the ones that judge the most. So this is pretty much what I'm saying. There is a shift. There has a shift that has happened on the astral plane, on one of the planes. And the black or the divine feminine is going to be the head being, even over the divine masculine, because God is just fed up, and He has forgiven you all and has forgiven you all. You had a lot to do with us being led into slavery with your selfishness. Now we got the awakening, and then you're hushing people that God had put in place to put His word out there, specifically the daughters of Zion that He had already given His spirits, and He've already given them receptors, spiritual receptors straight to Him, and you silenced her and put her aside. And God's tired of you. God's tired of you. And we, as the black women that I guess I can speak for us too, we're tired of you too. You do everything but love the women that God has given to you. Everybody's before her. She's just a scum of the earth when it comes to you and to most people up on the earth as well. Instead of you protecting her, you step on her quicker than anybody else will in most cases. Okay? Sisters, daughters of Zion, it is time for you to get as close to the Most High God as you can possibly get. It is time for you to pick your positions. It's, he already have a position for you, but it's okay for you to say, hey, God, I want this. I want to be the commander, chief, judge, and jury. That's the position I want. I want to do that. Because there's a lot of our people that, if this dispensation happens before the separation, the complete separation of the wheat and the tare, because that has already started as well. If there is a period in there where the people upon the earth will judge, we're going to be able to judge our own people. We're going to be able to judge our own black lawyers and doctors. And I say they're the ones that's here, that was a part of this system, and they made money out. I'm talking about the black professional people now. They made money off of our people, God's chosen people suffering. The lawyers helped put them in jail. And what I mean by that is because they came to you in a lot of cases, and the lawyers took money from them and knew all along they wasn't going to do anything to help them get justice. But they took the money and watched them be whisked away to jail, probably some of them for the rest of their lives. And so those lawyers and those chosen judges of God will be punished, as well as everyone else that did these things to the people that God has chosen for himself, biblically. So we are in a period of judgment right now. Daughters of Zion, you're in a good position. Don't be looking for no masculine man to come, a black man to marry. Don't even look for it. Get close to God. You're going to have time for that, because you're going to be the ones that's going to have the forevermore. A lot of them are not going to have the forevermore. I don't think none of them is, but they're not going to have the forevermore. It's going to be the women and the children, and in this new dispensation. The men are so-called black men who's calling themselves leading the awakening right now. They are going to be discontinued in the spiritually. They already have been. I've done some previous videos excommunicating them, and it was messages that God had given me prior to this message, that they have been excommunicated from their position in the universe spiritually, which always supersedes the physical. Sisters, you getting ready to run this mother hover. So, don't worry about marrying them. I wouldn't marry them, because you know what? When they wake up to the fact that what I'm saying here, when they wake up to the fact that God has made this shift, this change, they're going to be ready to marry you. And it's only going to be a stumbling block, because they're not ready. They're not the men of God that God intended to marry you. They have the ways of the world. Now, I have been watching some stuff on social media, and that I'm very, very concerned about. Now, one of the things is a couple of Jews came on. A couple of Jews. I'm not real keen about showing their videos and that kind of stuff. But they came on there and said, one said that God had given him a message, and he had been a rabbi for so many years, and he had never got a message for African American people. But he got a message from God saying that they was his chosen people. Now, I don't believe that this man got a message. I don't believe that he got a message. I believe that he's taken a look at the circumstances, and he's seeing that this awakening is unfolding. And he's seeing that there's nothing that him or anyone else can do to stop this awakening. So what he's trying to do is get chummy with the black folks now. He's calling us sisters. And one of the other ones that I was watching, he said he loved us, the black American people, something that I never heard before from them. These are the same people that's kin to, they're the Jews. So they have ownership and over a lot of the this corporation here that we live in called the United States. And they could have done something for the black people a long time ago. But I think that they're seeing the effects of this awakening, and they realizing, hey, well, let me go get with them, and then maybe I can prolong my power a little more. I tell them, well, you a Jew and I'm a Jew too. Now, yay, Kanye West, what he's doing, the things that he's saying, I think it's some stuff that should have been said a long time ago. But there's something sketchy about even what he's saying. He's saying stuff like, well, you a Jew but I'm a Jew too. And so, in other words, I mean, my opinion is he's leveling the playing field. He's leveling the playing field to mean that, okay, I'm a Jew, so you respect me as a Jew, and I respect you as a Jew, and we can just live happily ever after together. And then he's mentioning the name Jesus Christ. Now, there's a bit of a problem with that, because the name Jesus Christ is something that was used to change the real person of what that's supposed to be our Elohim, Yahshua HaMashiach. So that name is not relevant, number one. And for him to say, oh, well, you're a Jew and I'm a Jew too. No, that's not what God said. God said the head is going to be the tail and the tail going to be the head. He didn't say that we can go and make friends with these people. And now we're not making friends with them. They coming along because they see an opportunity that they need to make friends with us so they can, keep their agenda going. And then he's coming along saying, okay, well, he's getting us used to, well, you a Jew, you a black Jew, and they the other Jews. That's not true. The word of God says they're not Jews at all. The word of God says that there are people over there that's claiming that they're Jews, and they're not. The synagogue of Satan. That's what the word of God says. So Ye cannot change that to mean that I'm a Jew, and I'm a black Jew, and you're a Jew, and you're a Jew of another nation. No. No. You can't change what God has already put in place. But for the simple fact that these two Jewish men that I saw on social media came forward on a video, and they were like kind of apologetic to the so-called African American. They said black Americans, I think one of them said. And we realize you are brothers and sisters. No, baby. You realize that because of the heat that's coming down. And we got a whole lot more that's going to come. And so, our people are so gullible. And I also see, I see something like reparations or something ahead for us now. We could have got it all along. But, you didn't think we deserved it. You didn't think we deserved it. And so God had to step in to do what he's doing. And I don't know all of what he's doing. I can't say that a lot of us in the physical know a lot of what he's doing because it's not televised. Because the media, television, etc., is designed to control the narrative. So it's certain stuff we're not going to know about unless God show it to us the way he showed it to me in the universe, on a universal level, a cosmic level. Some big changes are coming. They are going to be powerful. I feel them in the air. I feel them every day that I wake up. All day before I go to sleep. And we need to just get ready. I see a revolution. I see a revolution like really, really close, real nearby. Real nearby. There's going to be a power change. And it's coming. It's going to happen. And our so-called Hebrew Israelite brothers, you're not going to change that. You're not gonna, because they're gonna offer you something. Now that they see things is getting out of their control, they're gonna offer you something. You know why? Because you're out there. You're out on the streets and you're claiming that, you're God's chosen people, and you got the women under control where they gotta, they in silence. You got 5 or 6 of them sitting up in the house. So you're the one that they're gonna come to. And I believe a lot of you guys are going to accept the bait. I believe a lot of you guys are going to accept whatever they offer, knowing, some of you knowing that what they're going to offer is going to be something to try to keep us beneath their feet. They may give us a little something, a little money or something. Maybe some reparations they should have gave us, 100 years ago? They're going to do that. Be careful. Now, especially the children and the daughters of Zion, be very, very careful, because it's going to affect you, I think, more than anyone else, because it was you, the helpmate, the divine um, feminine, that prayed and warred and hung in there, while a lot of our men was taking care of self pleasure and developing their own kingdoms right in their homes. A lot of the divine feminine prayed, talked to the universe, talked to God. Some of them stayed on their knees. Some of them got at their altars. And so the battle has been won in the spiritual, which always the prerequisite for the physical. Now, when it's time for it to be shown in the physical, all hell gonna break loose. Because, a lot of our men gonna get something they probably never had, a little money or something, maybe some land, and they're gonna show their true colors. But sisters, don't you worry. Don't even be trying to hook up and marry them. Don't even do that. Because God got something better for you. You are going to rule this mother hover. You can ready to run it, sisters. And nobody can stop it. Brothers, you have lost your place as it comes to the head man upon the earth. The sisters that you named woman now have that position. And so at least be nice to us. At least be nice to us. Okay? Okay, so that's my message. That's my message. The shift is here, the change is here. And a lot of us, especially our people, we don't see it. We can't see it. We can't see it. And we're not, a lot of us not supposed to see it because we the tear. The tear can't see it. Now, when I talk about the sisters, I'm talking about the ones that's truly of God. The ones that was chosen before the foundation of the earth. I'm not talking about the ones that set up seminars and took money from our people. You already got your blessing. That's your blessing. That's your reward. I'm not talking about them. So I'm saying that because, a lot of you, you kind of listen to anybody that you think that makes sense. You got to you have to pray for discernment so you can begin to judge people by their spirit. Because their spirit is them. That body is just a shell. It's just a housing for that spirit. So if you don't know how to judge people by their spirits, begin to pray that God give you discernment to do so you can judge them by their spirits. Because a lot of our so-called men is now, they're not above us in this hierarchy. They are below us now. We are the head men on the earth now. The woe man. I know that might not sound crazy to people that don't know. That sound crazy to ignorance. But as time go by, you will see what I'm talking about. And I believe some of the people from other nations know what I'm talking about. It's just a lot of times that our people don't know. They don't know what I'm talking about. A person like me will come on and say something like this. They don't have a clue. They have no ties to the universe. They're not trying to get them. They're more into who's famous and who has the money and who got the best talk and who make them feel good, make them laugh, who's pretty. They're more into those type of things. And those are and they're into like even the secular educations, which is the education that gets you the college degrees. God do not pick his people by what type of college degree they have. That's solely for the earth. I'm not putting it down, but I'm just telling you the truth. He don't pick us by because whether we have a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, or whatever. He don't pick us for that reason. He picked us because he had chosen us before the foundation of the earth, and he has put in us his spirit, and that spirit that he put in us, he's able to communicate with that spirit, and that spirit in us is able to communicate with him. We have access to him. And so-called black men, whether you realize it or not, that's why God sent the black woman to be your helpmate, because you don't have the type of spiritual ties that she have, and God sent her to help you. I'm not saying that you don't have any at all. I'm not saying that. But there is a I guess I could say a covenant that God has made with her. The Daughters of Zion, or some people call it the black woman, the divine feminine, whatever you want to call her. God has done that. He did it for you all, but mostly he did it for his own plan and for his own desire. There was a people that we call nature selected that he chose to do that through. It don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not prejudiced. It's all in the Bible. Don't take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. I always say that because that's what I want you to do. Because if you look it up for yourself and you find it for yourself, there's no recourse. There's no argument. There's no bad feelings. Because it didn't come from a mere individual. So that's what I had to say. That's what I had to say. Sisters, we made it. You're in an excellent position now. Take your place. Take your place. This place is going to be a wonderful and a beautiful. When we get through all of this shifting and, the dispensation changing and the leadership changing, we're going to have a very happy world, and we're going to walk with Yeshua HaMashiach here on the earth. We're going to walk with him right here on earth, and we're going to have eternal life. And like I said, there's going to be a period where some people still going to die, mainly the men. They still going to grow old and die. But the Daughters of Zion that has their heart set and their place and the Spirit of God in them, they're going to have forevermore. Everybody, God, why should God give everybody from evermore to keep doing the things that they're doing? To keep bringing us down. There's going to be a chance that the fact that the Jews is saying that God told them that the African Americans are his people and they need to include us. It's going to be some real funny stuff going on with that right there. They're not doing that for us. They're doing that for themselves. They're doing that so that they can continue with the power over us. But all they got to do, and they know it, all they got to do is maybe give a little money or something to one of the ones that's making the most noise, the noisiest wheel out here, and make it look like things have changed. Maybe give everybody a little money or something, maybe a stimulus or something, I don't know. And then they think that doing that, we're going to accept them as part of the promise of God. It's no way we can do it. We can't even do that. We can't accept them as part of the promise of God, because only God knows that full plan and what his promise is for his people. Only God knows that full plan of the Exodus, the second Exodus out of here. Now, it may be because you open up the gates of Israel to let us back in on our own land. The land that was given to us, that you went and say you found it in 1948. And now you're going to open up the doors for us because I guess you don't see no other way to say that we sisters and brothers now, we can all live together and get along. The same thing ye's saying. That's not what God's saying, people. Look this up for yourself and research it for yourself. What's going to happen is going to happen. It don't have nothing to do with anybody being prejudiced. It don't have anything to do with anyone being self-centered and the things like what I'm saying. I'm not saying that to be prejudiced and self-centered. And a lot of people say, because I don't make videos all the time. Well, you probably don't have the views and stuff that you have because you don't make enough videos. Okay, that's fine in the natural. I make a video when God give me a message. And I don't think he give no one a message every day. I just don't believe that. If God gave everybody a message every day, it would be no use for him. It would be no use for him if he did that. Thank you for tuning in to Nuggets, Kibbles, and Bits Talk. And I'll see you for the next video. Remember, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up and share this video with others. Have a blessed day.